Hello everyone and welcome to my last video of 2018. Today I'm here to talk about my top 11 favorite Super Mario Party minigames in the week that I've had to play it. Now I'm not the most experienced Mario Party player, but I don't know if that matters as much for a game like Mario Party where it's just sort of like fun, sort of yay, whatever. I'm basing these minigames mostly off of how fun they were to play, but some have nice visuals and those help as well. As there's 84 of them, so it's hard to narrow it down to 11, but you know what, I'm going to do it anyway, so here we go. At number 11, we have Bumper Brawl, which is not to be confused with Bumper Balls. Now, Bumper Brawl is basically Bumper Balls, but with three key exceptions. 1, your hands won't look like this after you play it. And 2, there is now 16 players at the start of it. And 3, you can actually charge yourself to knock off players more easily, which is pretty neat. This minigame is basically mass chaos, almost too chaotic for it to even appear on the list. But it's certainly one of the more memorable minigames Super Mario Party has to offer. You gotta embrace the chaos and be the last man standing on top of his balls. That sounded wrong, so let's move on. At number 10, we have Sign, Steal, and Deliver. Now, out of all the minigames on here, this one might be the least fun, but I respect it for its creativity. It's a 1v3 minigame where one person uses a drone to deliver packages back to his truck. The other 3 people are forced to do things the old-fashioned way, actually getting the package, doing things the whole pre-Amazon days way, whatever, that whole thing. This is definitely one of the less simple Mario Party games in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, it's still pretty simple, but there's different rows and a bunch of stairs you gotta walk down. It can get a little hectic. That is, if you're on the 3 side of the 1v3. This is honestly one of the more balanced 1v3 games I've played so far, at least in my experience. So that counts for something too. This game is a package of interestingness and creativity, so it gets number 10. At number 9, we have Making Faces. This game is quite a bit simpler than the last one. It's a 2v2 and the title is very suggestive of what you're doing. You're making some faces. You have to drop different parts of Mario characters' faces at the right spot, and you gotta do it pretty quickly too. My favorite experience with this game is seeing the faces that don't quite look right. Well, that's my favorite thing when the other team is experiencing it. It's good, simple, factory work and fun. At number 8, we have a free-for-all known as Lookin' for Love. Maybe this won't be my most popular pick on this list, but I like how you have to be speedy and precise in this game, but you can't be careless either, because you can easily get screwed over. The premise is quite simple in this game. Look in the direction where a heart icon appears, but be careful because like I said, this game tries to screw you over. The heart sometimes appears in different colors, while other symbols are red, and you're tempted to look at the red thing because that's the color that hearts normally are. Or in my case sometimes, you look at things that aren't a heart and aren't even red either. God, that sucks. But what doesn't suck is seeing 4 Mario characters put in a box looking around at stuff. I find that oddly charming, and that's why I have it at number 8. At number 7, we have another free-for-all, Senseless Census. Now I understand this was on Nathaniel's worst list, but I'm entitled to my own opinions. I personally enjoy the challenge of this minigame. I enjoy it quite a bit. You got 20 seconds to move around a train counting moving toads while also not counting up decoys, such as bags that have toads' colors on them. Now there's charm amidst all the chaos as well, as there's usually a toad couple dancing in the background from the times that I've played this. Now I'm not the biggest fan of toads, but you gotta admit, that's adorable. I've also won this every time I've played it, so maybe that's why I have this on the list. I'm good at counting toads. Whatever, I suppose I will accept that talent. At number 6, we have Dash and Dine, a 2v2 minigame. Now, from looking up facts about this from the Super Mario Wiki page, I found that this game is similar to a game called Overcooked. Now, I have not heard of that game before, but you know what I have heard of before? The Papa Louie games, and this minigame reminds me so much of that. The premise is that you gotta collect ingredients and deliver them back to your respective toad in order to make meals. Now, speaking of toads, there is some that walk around carrying plates. And they get in the way. And it's annoying, not gonna lie. See, that's why I'm not the biggest fan of toads. But overall, this game is very charming and fun, and that's why it earns a spot on my list. At number 5, we have Gridiron Gauntlet, a free-for-all. And just so you know, the rest of the minigames on this list are also free-for-alls, because let's face it, those are the really fun ones. This is a 3-strike sort of game, where if you get hit by a charging chuck 3 times, you're out. This game quickly builds up in intensity, which is always good for a Mario Party minigame. The charging chucks come at you from multiple directions, so there's definitely some mass chaos involved. You gotta love that mass chaos. And you also gotta love that animation of people getting booted off the screen, as seen here with poor Wario. At number 4 we have Cruisin' for a Bruisin'. The premise of this game is quite similar to Gridiron Gauntlet. Don't get run over by stuff. This time it's quite a bit more intense though. You get run over once and you are done. And though you're only being chased in one direction, it builds up. Multiple warp pipes carry out more bruisers that chase you, and there's blocks that try and get in your way. Not to mention you're being chased in a dark corridor, so it's easy to get spooked while playing this one. In essence, this game is Gridiron Gauntlet, but in my opinion, more chaotic. And more chaotic often means more fun at Mario Party, so it gets number 4. At number 3, we have Sphere Mongers. Wow, you gotta love the pun masters at Nintendo. Anyway, this game is quite interesting. You control a UFO that is picking up spheres and return them to your little bucket, I guess. Silver spheres are worth 1 point, but some golden spheres will show up and they're worth 3. I think that's a good balance right there. Having the golden ones worth like 5 might be a little bit OP. Also, with the way the Joy-Con rumbles, it actually feels as though you're picking these things up. It's really neat, and it makes you feel connected to the video game in a way. I know that sounds weird, so you just gotta play it to experience it, I guess. At number 2, we have Sizzlin' Steaks. Now, I said I'd mostly be basing my rankings off of how fun these minigames are. That's the proper way to score these, right? But this game definitely got pushed up a few spots with its awesome visuals. Your little cookie environment here has a question block tissue box and a pipe mug. Now the challenge of this minigame is pretty intense. You gotta cook all 6 sides of the steak cube while also making sure that it doesn't fall out of the pan. The first time I played this game, I had 5 out of the 6 sides cooked and then it fell out of the pan. Then I had to start over. In other words, I originally hated this game. But then I played it a few more times and thankfully that whole stuff did not happen again. Also, more awesome visuals towards the end. You gotta love that finished meal. Honestly, it makes me kinda hungry. And at number 1, we have Follow the Money. Now again, this may not be the most popular number 1 choice. But you know what this game reminds me of? Anyone ever play the obstacle course game from Wii Fit Plus? That's basically what this is. Now, of course, there's an added challenge to avoiding the obstacles. You gotta also collect coins. And of course, when you don't dodge the obstacles, you will lose some coins. It's a pretty simple game, but it's really fun for me. Also, sometimes random spurts of coins go up and you've already run past it, so you gotta quickly run back before other people could get it. So yes, I have a minigame at number 1 because it makes me nostalgic for an old Wii Fit Plus game. Everyone has their own standards, I guess. So let me know, guys. What are your favorite minigames from Super Mario Party if you have the game? What are some ones you don't like? I might do a top 11 worst minigames sometimes in the future. I don't know. Anyway, have a happy new year, everyone. And if it's already 2019 where you live, good for you. How's the future? Anyway, see you next year, and bye-bye.